So today has been, like, absolutely fantastic. So I have my testosterone appointment tomorrow. And I set up my consultation for top surgery. So, like, I feel like this is the first day where I'm like, oh, I have the ball rolling. Like, I'm going. And I'm going to, like, be myself. And it's just so wild. And, like, I texted Kennedy, my friend, today, who's been on T for, I think, like, a year or two now. And just asked them, like, hey, they're also non-binary. And, so that was, like, really important to sort of have. I was like, you know, you're non-binary, I'm non-binary, we're both going on T. So I was just like, hey, what was your initial appointment like? Stuff like that. And we just chatted, and it was so good to hear from them and, like, talk to them and just get their perspective on all of it. And they just say such, like, calming things. They're just so, like, you know, like, you're gonna feel so at home in your body, and, like, that's so important, and it feels so, like, you know, like calming. And it's just, like, it's, like, and they're just like, oh, I, like, so much love for you, like, I'm so excited for you, and, like, you know, I'm just always like, you are my inspiration, please, don't flatter me. And then, like, I was feeling good. I'm really worried about getting all the blood work done. I'm very afraid of needles. I'm not thrilled about blood. You know, and everybody's just been saying, don't look. And that's just the biggest, and eat, and, like, drink water, so you don't fucking pass out, which is, like, what I would super do. And then I had a fucking meeting with my, like, favorite professor who I'm obsessed with, Hatem El Hibre. He's a saint, and he's been doing, he's the professor that's done, the professor that's taught both of the, the intro to film, and then the television studies class that I'm in right now that I love so much. And he did a whole unit on queer theory, and he's just been so, like, supportive of me, and, like, talking about being trans, and talking about, like, gender specific issues, and, like, the lesbian community and the trans man community, like, what those two things have in common, and you know, what they don't have in common, and you know, sort of the ways that they interact with one another, and the ways that, you know, in a person like me, I'm transmasculine, but I consider myself a lesbian for a long time, so I live sort of in that valley. And he's been so supportive of me talking about all of that, and, like, roasting the shit out of the L word. And I went and had a meeting with him today just to talk about, like, oh, what should the topic be for my final essay? And then we just got to talking, and he was just so cool. And he was like, basically said, like, I don't come across, like writing like yours often. Like he's just like, everything you've turned in for both of my classes has been incredible. And I was like, what the fuck? And he was like, I want to recommend you. He's like, what's your major? And I was like, oh, I'm an English major with a concentration in film and media, which is, like, his department. And then he was like, I want to recommend you for the English Honors College. And I was like, he literally said that, and I was like, really? And he goes, yeah. And I was like, oh my god. And he was like, yeah, so I'm gonna give them your name and, like, get in touch with them, and you should, like, check on your email. And he was like, I can tell when people are really passionate about it. It's so rewarding for me. And I was just like, oh my god. So basically, this professor I've been obsessed with for 2 semesters now is apparently equally obsessed with me. So that's, like, wild, and I, like, wanted to cry. And then we just kept talking, and I kept asking for, like, he was just giving me, like, a lot of book recommendations. He let me borrow one of his books, and I asked to borrow it, and he's like, oh, wait, let me see if there's a PDF. And then he was like, no, you can borrow it. And I was like, huh? And then he handed me this book called Testo Junkie, and it talks about, like, trans, like the use of hormones and what that means and how people go through it. And, like, I was like, I actually, like, have an appointment tomorrow to talk about going on testosterone. And he went and fist bumped me. I was just like, that's so exciting, and, like, was just so nice and kind. And I was like, I want a library that looks like yours. He was like, here's all these books that you should read, and, like, just, and I left, and he was like, congratulations on, like, that, like, good luck. And, like, just so, I just love him with all my heart, and I'm obsessed with him. And my daddy issues say that's your new dad, so I'm obsessed with him. Kirsten, my girlfriend, was like, oh, so you want to marry and make him your dad? You want to marry him and he's your dad? And I was like, my daddy issues are complex. Don't worry about it. So anyway, it's been, like, the best day for some fucking reason. So, like, that sweet, sweet academic validation on my writing is all I've ever craved from a man. So I can't believe that. I'm so excited. It's, like, all this passion and like anger and frustration that I've put into my writing, like for this class, because these are the only essays I love writing. Every other fucking essay I'm like, ugh. And I get so worried about them, and then I write them, and I'm like, oh my god, that sounds so good. And like, just to have that validated and to be told like what you're doing, like you are exceptional at it, you're good at it. That's the thing that's like put me so far ahead, and like I just feel like so fucking validated by that. I'm so excited. So anyway, fucking sick ass day. I'm thrilled. I'm excited to start. I want to like, I guess, record some of my initial consultation tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm going alone. Maybe I'll take somebody. I think I'm going to try to take somebody with me next time so they can film like me actually doing my shot, or maybe not a shot. I'm hoping maybe not a shot, but we'll see. Anyway, wow. Good day. I feel like me again, and I haven't in a long time. So